I have never made an image. I've
Oh
used
my gosh.
AI
I
for
think
like
I've made a few
writing,
images.
but not images.
Okay, well, cool.
I
We can,
got a question for you right out of the gate. I
yeah,
mean,
come
I make
on.
images on the Bing program. That's all I'm good for. I can do Bing. That's it.
Okay.
But I suck everywhere else because I have no paid subscription. So am I in the
The
right
Bing
place?
AI.
This is fine. Let me tell Anthony, we'll let you go. You can create them anywhere. I kind of like had it couched with the Chat GPT because that's what I've been teaching on. Um, that's a good note for myself. That none of them are good at at the letters. I know
No,
some people kind of can get them to do them. From what I hear,
none of
it
the
might
free
it
ones, especially.
it might take, yeah, even on like paid ones, like 10 iterations, like spell it this way, put it in quotes, ask it, I'll put two eyes, it'll be whatever. Um, and so, yeah, you could take, as long as you can, like, say, download that image, right? I'm sure you can screenshot it, however you get it, right? And then to be ready to deploy, because, end goal in mind, we are using these to create assets. In my scope here in Tech Corner, we're creating content, we're creating marketing assets, we're creating things to share with the world, right? And so the image is cool, but I don't know, a logo, a URL, maybe some wording, um, and being able to get an image you like and then do the rest later. So I think you're going to be a spot on fit, Mark, to answer your question.
All right. I just get a little lost sometimes when it gets too wonky with paid subscriptions of stuff. I don't mind doing paid subscriptions. I just don't see
Yeah,
how
it's
it's going to
fair.
benefit my
We got
life.
you, man. And I
The
have some
wider
free,
use case.
my tools are free today. I got two of them.
Oh yeah, and I love Dustin's tool. I
Well, good for you, man. I think this is gonna work. Sarah, did
okay,
you
thank
did you
you.
say you haven't made any?
I have not, no.
Okay.
Kind of with Mark, I hadn't ever seen anything that didn't require a paid subscription. And so since I didn't have a direct reason to be making images, I decided I wasn't going to pay for that just to play around. So
Well,
this could be
you
good.
you should pay for something as a matter of principle. I mean, for $20 to get the lift,
Oh, I get
Yeah.
Chat GPT. I pay for that subscription, but I
Okay, so
didn't know
then you
you
can
could.
make images. I'm going to
Oh,
show you how.
I did not know. So
Yeah.
please do show.
So you have this. Can you guys see my screen right?
Hmm.
Okay. So if you have the plus, right, you can get four. Okay. And so with that, you get Dall-E. So when we start talking about the world, there's lots of tools. We had to mention today. We got Magi, we got Bing, we got Google just renamed theirs from Bard to Gemini, um, Midjourney. But so Dall-E is the one from the company who made ChatGPT. It's called OpenAI right up here, right? So if you have this one, you can make an image. Is that what you have? Okay. So here's one I did. I got it queued up. Um, and these are kind of the magic words, at least the fundamental one. Just like everything else, the better the prompt, the better the output, right? But you have to say create an image. And then me, I just did one. This is a client. They're a store. They actually don't have a physical card because everything's like in the cash register, right? So I'm like, hey, let's make them a little thing. And so that was it. A really short one, right? It'll tell you a little bit about it. You can feed this back on itself if you want. You can give it a very verbose prompt, right? Just to show a little bit since we're on the topic. Um, we did one before for Jane actually in the group. She came in, and so you know we refined. We said, I don't know why this is messed up, but she didn't like this one. She's like, oh well, um, we said more realistic, or we said more people. And she's like, oh, well, make me have blonde hair. You could continue to refine, right? Just like you do with your prompts. I'm sure you do that with your prompts. If you're not, you need to start it out, say, this is good now. Add this, right? This is good now. Turn it into an outline. This is good now. You know what I mean on those, right, Sarah? You tracking this?
Yeah, I'm tracking.
Gotcha. So then it's got to go somewhere, right? This is the no-brainer, easy one, right? So in general, there's big ideas to think about, right? So, how are you going to pick a font that's going to match, right? What about the contrast and the legibility? Less is more. Where are you going to put it?
Could you put that URL in the chat? What is it? I
Sure.
can't read
Add
that.
text. Yeah, let me do
Yeah,
that.
that would be great. I can't see that.
Sure.
I have little eyes. I can't see things.
Yeah, no worries.
I should get,
And this one is
it addtext.com? That's all it is?
That's all it is. Yes, sir. There we
Oh,
go.
okay.
I didn't press enter when I put it in the
Oh,
text
okay.
box.
And this is just to do after you create an image?
Yeah, so here, let me just drag one in. I have there's one. Let's see if it'll take this one here.
You just drag and drop your image in there. That's
Yeah.
it.
Actually,
And then you add your text.
yeah, why? So I don't like that one as much. I have to drop this other one in here. So I did a text like it's a play on me, like, mapping your marketing. So I'm like a map using reputation stars to get to money, right? But it defaults to this kind of look. You've seen this a million times. A lot of people use this tool when you see pictures online, right? And so I might just do something like, hey, now for me, that's really plain. There's a couple choices. Okay. Let's see what I went over here in the style, right? You can set your style and your size. And so I make a lot of mine in here. So if you see other things I made in what I present to the world, I usually make like futuristic images. My brand colors are blue. So
Okay.
I use this one, right? It made these words, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can do really good
social
text.
media, reputation, traffic, right? It got my name of my podcast, right? There's another example. Speaking of post-production, recognize those fonts? I did this one in add text, right?
Greg, you've kind of lost me for just a minute. Like, so I don't understand how you got to this graphic by using Chat GPT and having it create this. What was the verbiage that you used? How did you create this? And then when you went into add text, I didn't.
Okay.
What is add text? Can we just go through this? Like,
sure. So, if we were going to, let me get rid of some of this stuff. So add text puts these letters on, right? Okay. And
the mapping your marketing success, that was done by Dall-E, right?
no, this one is actually in this.
No,
no,
at
the top one.
This right up here? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So
she
how
was
did-
asking. She's asking
Yeah,
how you got that on there. What was the prompt that you used?
Okay, that is a good question. I want to I'll show you one other sample here. So you have to, again, I can find that in my history. Let me find that other window.
I
Now
mean,
I
I
have
got
some
ChatGPT
recorded sessions on how to create those, but it's not too off base here to cover. I'm not sure if it's in my history. I think this is the one, futuristic podcast image. Okay, so here's the exact prompt. Okay. Create a futuristic image. That's my style, right? And then I wanted a microphone, and then in quotes, right? Important to have that for Dall-E to best put the words. Now here's its first crack. Remember, we're always refining. And so it tells you what it thinks it is, right? It's a state-of-the-art setup, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, great. I don't know why. I compliment AI. Tell it this is good. Do another version, including stars and dollar signs, right? And so it actually, on the second time, actually put the words in. It didn't the first time, if you'll notice, right? And then I do have some stars and some dollar signs, right? And that one, for me, that's the one I used.
Okay. And then you just copied that in or
Then you go
downloaded
like
it and then put it into
download.
add text, and then you can put the add text stuff in there. Cool.
Exactly.
Quick question then. Is that in and of itself, like before you start adding text here, is that what Sharon would call a stock image that then gets you in trouble on
No,
Google Business Profile?
it's
This is
not
a
stock. That's the
customized.
beauty. In fact, I just
Okay.
created my topic for next week is
Mhm.
why it's going to be a blog post. It might be next week, but the short answer is, and Mark tipped on it, and I have for years been preaching as a 20-year digital marketer, like, don't just go grab the first thing you find on Google and use it. My buddy, he had a vitamin company. He just took the first thing he used it. He put it on his bottles, and they dinged him for like 5 or 6 figures for using his images. And
Oh,
so
right. Yeah.
so
No, but I
you
know
so
that
like
there's
Mark said, like
SEO
you
stuff
pay,
with
like you
Google.
go to like 123RF or there's free ones like Pixabay or Pexels, right? And we use those and we look for very specifically royalty-free commercial use, right? So that we don't get in big trouble. The trouble you're talking about is small trouble that Google doesn't like it or it frowns upon it. So stock images you could be paid and have rights to, but still it's canned, right? And so Google has its own judgment system. They like to see original like photos in your business, right? And so what happens is when you do AI imagery, is you win on all these counts, right? You have fresh, original, royalty-free images. It's not stock. So Google, guess what Google knows? Freaking everything. Like every picture you upload, it looks at it and goes, oh, this is a man with a box of chocolates and flowers standing next to a woman, on Valentine's Day, right? Or a guy holding a guitar on the beach. Like it can decompose that. And then if it's a pixel for pixel image off of something that it's seen, like stock pictures, it goes, oh, I know this, right? So long way to get to this is absolutely not a stock photo, and Google likes stuff like this. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you for
Yeah.
clarifying.
Now, when you take even stock pictures, the tips are to add to them, right? So put some words on them. So that's why add text is good if you do something. But you can take a stock image and add some text to it, right? And sort of like pass Google. Not that it's exactly on topic. And so this tool is good for that. This tool is good for adding text to AI images, which is actually the scope for the meeting. We are close to the end, but I'm going to show you, you guys know Canva, right?
Okay.
So Canva is way better at putting images, dealing with stuff in general, right? And so this is one that I did. I gen this in Dall-E, right? And my prompt here was something like, have a man focusing on money and not at squirrels, right? And then I went into Canva. So Canva gives you like so much power and control over adding text, right? It has all these samples. And so I used Canva for this. So do you guys Canva? Do you guys know this one? Mark, Sarah?
I know Canva.
Okay. I mean, so that's really the other trick. We started with like the super easy one, right? The add text. But if you've got Canva, you've got a lot more power and control, right? And so when we start thinking about adding text, we think about, we could punch in a logo in Canva easily, which you can't do in add text, right? Like this little gap up here, I might, I could have put a logo or something. We start thinking about some of those design elements, right? Like where is stuff going to fit? What fonts are going to pop, right? And so when my thought on here was like, look, the thing I want to put the positive light on, I put in green, I put, this one in red. So just to give you some more ideas, I don't know what all your use cases are, Mark with yours, but you can add different words, different things. You can have something that really jumps out. I like this one that glows because it sort of matches like my design, like my futuristic stuff glows. If you can tell like the nuances in the imagery, right? So Canva is really great for this. That way I get more stuff that's I don't know, on brand or more like what I'm looking for, or and I put my URL, I put it in that contrasting one at an angle. I think it grabs the eye more. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I might take this one and right up here, I might just put my mappingyourmarketing.com URL up in this kind of dark background so that those words will pop. You know what I mean? So just things to think about where you can kind of set yourself apart in the world, because you see so many other people that just put like text with, and it just gets lost on a page, on a picture. So you got something to take away, right?
Lots.
Excellent.
What do you think about something like this, Greg?